Hey everybody, and welcome to Ainsworth Showroom Live. This is one of several sessions we're doing over this week and a couple weeks later, giving our customers, vendors, others in the industry the chance to take a look at our showroom. Thank you all for taking time out of your extremely busy schedules to log on and spend some time with us. We're very excited to be able to show you about a dozen of our new products and try to keep this short and sweet. I know everybody is taking on multiple roles, working remotely, everything else. So again, thank you for coming and joining us today. A couple quick items of business in the chat box below the video. You can ask any question you'd like at any point in the presentation. Myself and some of the game developers that are here on site will do our best to answer anything and everything you'd like to know. Be aware also there are customers from across the United States, Canada, and I believe Latin America on this call. Obviously you all can't see each other, but as you ask those questions in the chat box, everybody who is on is able to see your question. But again, we'll get started. Thank you again for joining us. First thing we want to show you is right to my right is our new A-Star curved cabinet. This is Ainsworth's first curved screen. We couldn't be more excited about this product. It was literally on a truck out back. We're going to show it to you at NIGA, which seems like both just yesterday and 9,000 years ago, but it would have been there. Since COVID began, since the world changed, we have launched this product in a number of casinos across the country. It is definitely in Oklahoma, it is definitely in California, Nevada, and many other markets across the US and beyond. The game you're looking at here is our recommended launch title for the A-Star Curve. This game is called Supercharged Sevens Classic. It is obviously a three-reel version of our quick spin title. A very, very cool product. It has been a pretty strong performer for us on initial installs, and we couldn't be more excited about putting this game as well as a companion title called Real Hot Sevens out there across the country, and expect some very strong performance. Two quick things about Supercharged Sevens Classic. It is multi-denom capable, and it can be set as a 5 or 9 line game. Optimally, some of the strongest performance we've seen so far has been a $9 line version of this game, has been performing a little bit better than some of the quarter stuff, maybe just the bets up, maybe just the markets we're in. But this game is set up the way we've installed a number of them around the country, which again is a $9-line game. The bet multiplier of $5, giving players the opportunity to play simply one line for $1, up to all 9 lines at $5, and having that $45 bet. All of that is very configurable, again, multi-denom capable. The math behind Supercharged Sevens Classic for a high denom game runs very similar to our typical quick spin product. That wheel will spin quite often for players, but the added high denom volatility comes through the idea that there is no free games on these three-reel games. So the entire chase of this product is players trying to spin that wheel. It's going to happen often. It can pay some huge money. We think it's a nice little product for us to have launched this cabinet. I'll show you a quick wheel spin. Multipliers up to 5x available on the wheel. A classic wheel spin experience. And a significant win. So that is Supercharged Sevens Classic. Again, the reason I show you this is that it is available today. It is one of our recommended launch products for the A-Star Curve screen. I know we could talk all day about this, I'm going to turn it over to Mason McElroy, who is one of our tremendous game developers, and he's going to take you through what he's been working on since COVID.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Mason. I'm a game designer here at Ainsworth, and I'm going to show you a few of the games I've been working on. The first one that I'm excited to show you is George Lopez Neighborhood Tour. So this is a 40-line, 60-credit game. This is a George Lopez title. You can see his face featured prominently in the game, and as you're playing the game, you can hear his voiceovers. He'll be cracking jokes or kind of explaining what's happening in the game or egging the player on. So this is a heavy entertainment style game. There's a lot of variety as far as gameplay goes, lots of different features, lots of different bonuses, lots of different things that can happen. Let's go over the base game just so I can kind of explain to you the mechanics of this game. So, as you're looking at this game, the first thing you might notice are these framed positions over here. What's going to happen as you're playing this game is at some random point, all these framed positions that you see here are going to turn wild. You get these framed positions by getting these GL symbols, George Lopez symbols, to appear on screen. So not only do they turn wild, but sometimes a special feature can happen on top of that. Let me go ahead and show you one of those. So one thing that can happen is not only can they turn wild, sometimes they can also award a random credit prize for each of those positions. That's one of the things that can happen. They can also sometimes turn into multipliers, sometimes more wild will appear, sometimes you'll get a respin, so lots and lots of variety. So next thing I'm going to show you is one of the two bonus features. So this game has two bonus features, one of which is a wheel. So to trigger the wheel is pretty straightforward. You need 3 scatter symbols to appear on screen. So 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. So not only are you going to be awarded the prize on here, but sometimes you can also trigger the wheel with a multiplier, all the way up to a 5 times multiplier. So right here we got 1,500 credits off the wheel, and if we got a 5x multiplier, it would have been multiplied by 5. Let's go ahead and go into the second big bonus feature in the game, which is of course the free games. And to trigger the free games, you trigger it exactly the same way. 3 scatters.
You want some free games?
And you're always going to get 7 free games. Let's go ahead and go into that. Similar concept as the base game. You're going to see these frame positions, and the goal is to get more and more frame positions at random points throughout the free games. All these frame positions are going to turn wild, and you're going to get one of those special features I was talking about at the beginning. So here we got the credit prizes again, and we'll see another one at the end of the feature. So let's see what we get this time. No, it's just wilds this time.
That's some big money.
All right, and that is George Lopez's Neighborhood Tour. All right, so if you guys have questions, feel free to put it in the chat, and I can answer it later. For now, let's go ahead and move on to our next game, which is Fortune Spin over here. So Fortune Spin is part of our Quick Spin series. If you're familiar with another game we've made called Super Lit Vegas, this is the exact same game as Super Lit Vegas, just with a different coat of paint. This is a Chinese themed game, and if you're not familiar with Super Lit Vegas, I'll go over it. So in this game, it's a similar hook as George Lopez, the game I just walked through. So in this game, you want to kind of collect these orb symbols on screen in order to get these frame positions. With George Lopez, they turned wild at random points. Here it's always fixed at a 7-game cycle. You can see at what point in the cycle you're in over here on the bottom left. So on the 7th spin, all these framed positions are going to turn wild. On top of turning wild, if you collect 8 or more, you're also going to get a chance to spin this wheel up top. So 8. So not only are you going to get wilds, but you're also going to get a wheel spin if you get 8 or more. Every 2 more you collect after that, you're getting a higher and higher multiplier up until 10x. So let's go ahead and play through this. So I'm on spin 6 of 7 right now. Let's go ahead and spin it one more time, and we're going to see all these turn wild. Okay. So I'm getting a good line win over here, and now I have a chance to spin the wheel because I have more than 8 of these frames collected. So there you go, 2,000 credits. We'll multiply by 2, and that'll be our win for that. So this is the main hook of the game. On top of that, we have a free games feature. Let's go ahead and go into that. Let's see, free games. So free games, you need 3 scatters on reels 1, 3, and 5. And so let's go into that. You're gonna get 15 free spins. So the free spins is exactly the same as the base game, except now you have 15 spins instead of 7. So that means more chances to collect these frames positions and a better chance at a wheel, and a wheel with a higher multiplier. So let's go ahead and get through the free games and see what we end up at. When you go into the free games, you're actually gonna get this wheel up top at a pretty good frequency. So right now we have 6, we just need 2 more. Oh, 1 more, last chance. We got a pretty decent line win. Unfortunately, we were 1 off from getting that wheel, but still it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Fortune Spin. So let's move on to my last game. So right here, I have March of the Zombies. This game is part of a series called the Sliding Stack series. So we have 2 games in that. We have March of the Zombies and one other game called Lucky Haul. Lucky Haul is the same game as March of the Zombies, just with a different theme. That one has a trucker theme. This is more of kind of a spooky zombie theme. So this game is a 40 line, 60 credits, medium low volatility, entertainment style game. In this game, the main hook is to get these fully stacked wild symbols on screen. You can kind of see one partially over here, but you want to land it fully on the reel. So let me show you what happens when we do. So we've landed a fully stacked wild on reel 5, and what happens is this wild is going to stay on screen as we keep playing, and it's going to move 1 position to the left. And it's going to keep doing that every spin until eventually it walks off screen. It can also overlap with these upgrade symbols. When it does, it'll collect this brain over here and it'll turn into a wild multiplier. So that gives the game a little bit of a punch, a little bit of volatility. So this game has 2 bonus features that the player can trigger. Let's talk about the pick bonus first. So the pick bonus, 3 or more scatter symbols with this bonus on it will trigger the pick bonus. If you trigger with more, it's the same bonus, just with higher prizes. Let's go into that. And the pick bonus is pretty straightforward. You're given a set of prizes, you're going to select them and reveal what you get. So here we got a level up, which means we're going to move on to the next stage of the pick bonus. let's go ahead and select this one. We got to collect, which means that, we get a credit prize, but the bonus ends right there. We could have kept going on to 2 more levels. Okay, so that's the pick bonus. We have one more feature, which is the free games feature. You trigger it exactly the same way as the pick bonus, 3 or more scattered symbols with this free games on it. And the more scatters you trigger with, the more spins you get. So once we go into the free games, we're given a selection screen. This is kind of a choose your own volatility style picker. So we can either get, 3 guaranteed wilds on screen, but only 2 spins. We can get 2 wilds with 8 spins or 1 wild with 20 spins. Finally, we have this mystery picker here on the right. So you'll get a random number of wilds and a random number of spins. Let's go ahead and gamble and see what we get here. 20 spins with 1 wild. So that was one of the options already available to us. So we didn't really improve, but we didn't really downgrade either. So now, unlike the base game where this wild just kind of keeps moving to the left and eventually walks off screen, this wild's going to stay here for a while. And you can see it. It might have been kind of fast, but it overlapped with this upgrade symbol and it became a 2x wild. And so that is everything with March of the Zombies. Any questions? Okay. If there's no more questions, I'll go ahead and pass it on to our next game designer, David. All right, thank you.
Hi, my name's David Stuck, and I'm going to show you Tiger's Throne. I'm one of the game designers here. Okay. Tiger's Throne is a 50 credit game, 40 lines, and similar to some of the other games, we're going to collect these gems, and they're going to hold a frame around a location on the real window. Randomly, the frames are going to turn into either wild, 2 times wild, or 3 times wild. As we collect the frames, you're more likely to get a expanding wild on the reel. You should see that hopefully pretty soon. It's proportional to the number of frames, so it'll be pretty noticeable to the player. It should keep them engaged while they're doing this collection thing, waiting for the big event of the tiger knocking these coins down. The average number of games for these frames to change to the coins is 10 games. It can range from 5 to 30 something. So now we're getting quite a few frames. It's going to end up feeling pretty noticeable to the player as this happens. Okay, now we triggered the Tiger's Roar feature. Coins came down. They all were just regular wilds, so nothing major. Well, $37 is an okay pay, but it can get pretty good when you have the multipliers on the wilds. We also have a free games feature that you trigger with 3 scatters. Reels 1, 3, 5. During the free games, we have a double height reel window with 80 lines in play instead of 40. And instead of collecting gems for frames, the wilds are sticky wilds through the whole free games feature. Start with 10 free games, and there's going to be quite a build up here. At the beginning, there's only a couple wilds, but as you collect, the games are a lot more lucrative. You can re-trigger with a scatter on reels 1, 3, 5 to give you an extra 3 free games where you're maintaining all the wilds you've already collected. Randomly, the tiger came down. Randomly, you'll get certain reels will change to either 2 times or 3 times wild. And any combination of the reels can turn at the same time. So all of them could get a multiplier if you're lucky enough. down, and pretty good pay on the last one. So $63, not bad for a 250 bet. And that's Tiger's Throne. If there's any questions, then just let us know. Oh yeah, right. We have a companion title, Panther's Throne, to bank along with this one, with the same mechanic. Thanks.
All right. Next two titles I want to show you are called Lucky Empress and Inca Empress. Lucky Empress is out, available now. The first installs in the United States actually happening this week. I think one going on as we speak here on a Tuesday morning. The first thing you'll note when you approach Lucky Empress is, of course, this 4-level standalone progressive jackpot. It is triggered by these gold symbols. There is one of them. And that gold symbol will also trigger a free games feature. So 5 of those gold symbols will give you free games, 6 will give you free games, and the mini, up to 9 of them giving you free games, and the grand. The progressives are great, but I feel the real chase in this game comes in these multipliers displayed along the left-hand side of the reels. So a player seeing this game, and if you change the bet structure, that perpetual chase exists and stays at a different level at each different bet level. But so we're looking at this, a $2.04 bet. The next win that comes out of this location will be a 5 times pay with a 12x on deck. And then 2 more gold coins will unlock the top level and the lower level. It is a ways game, so it's any win that starts in location 1, 2, and 3. So as a player goes through this game, they're looking for the next win at 5x as well as collecting those additional diamonds. If a player cashes out at this point, the next player comes and inherits the multipliers that have been gathered. That remains in place. There's a 5x win on aces. Not the best outcome, but a decent outcome. And 12x is next on deck. See, we gathered another coin, so 3 unlocks it. So now we're looking for a huge win, an opportunity for a massive win on that 12x with a 10x on deck. This goes on continually. It never ceases during the entire game experience. When a player triggers free games, in addition to getting free spins and the opportunity to collect credits over 8 free spins, their multipliers will remain going into the free game session, and they will be able to gather coins and multipliers that will stay with them at the end of the free game session. So adding these wilds for the potential for some even bigger wins, and all of your multipliers remain. Hopefully we land something great. So now 3, we have unlocked the bottom level multipliers. Again, if we don't win on those in free spins, they will remain in place coming out of the free games. So 1 more will unlock the top level. We've re-triggered a free games feature. Now we've unlocked every multiplier location on the game. We have 4 free spins left. And there's the huge win a player's looking for. $288 win on the 12x. And they still have the 10x and the 5x. Well, they've got a 5x win there. So 12x and 10x. Got another big win there. And as a player comes out, those multipliers remain in effect, coming out back into paid spins, encouraging players to stay in the game. Again, if you cash out, the next player would inherit those multipliers. This game, Lucky Empress, out today, being installed as we speak. And then the follow-up companion title to it is Inca Empress. This play mechanic will work very similar. You'll see on the left-hand side, It's sundials as opposed to gold coins, but that play mechanic is the same. The major difference between Inca Empress and Lucky Empress is there is no progressive on Inca. That math, the money that would have went into incrementing the progressive, we've placed into the free games feature. So a player will trigger free games, and they will start with 8 free games. However, mathematically on this game, the average amount of free spins a player will get when they enter this session is north of 20 free spins. So it is absolutely loaded with re-triggers, and you're going to see how this works in a second. But again, no progressive, but this incredibly powerful free games feature that is going to re-trigger quite often, and the average number of free spins a player is going to get when they enter free games is about 20. So they enter with 8 free games, you will note. And so now we've collected a sundial that's 12x and added 2 free games. So each sundial, you get an additional multiplier to fill one of your locations, as well as 2 additional free games. Added a multiplier. Now we've had 3 games, started with 8, we've only played 3, and we're already up to 12 free games. You'll note if there's a 3 full location there, it will actually back up those multipliers, so the player will get them. There's a 3x win. Oh, close to a full re-trigger. You see some wins there. Oh, so 12x player now really looking to capitalize on that 12x. They added another 12x. We're into free game 10 of 16. So as you can see, the re-trigger ability of this is incredibly powerful. It's a very unique experience, and just like you just saw on Lucky Empress, these multipliers, as you complete a free games feature, the player keeps those coming back into paid spins, keeping them engaged very much in the game, keeping them really wanting to reinvest in the game and continue to experience this incredibly powerful perpetual chase type of mechanic. So again, Lucky Empress out now with the progressive. Inca Empress coming very, very soon. Main feature in this is, again, taking that progressive incrementation values, putting them into this free games feature, which we're now up to 26 games, continues to play and play and play. Player will keep those 12x's. A player will ultimately win one of those 12x multipliers. Big volatility in trying to land something extremely big. You saw in the last game a $288 win. So hope that helps explain these 2 titles. They're 2 of my personal favorites, and I will turn it over to Cody, who I believe has 2 or 3 more games to show you, and we'll be around at the end of the demonstration here to answer any additional questions you might have throughout the whole presentation.
Great, thanks, Mike. Yeah, so speaking of gambler games, the next one I'm going to talk about is Zhai Zhai Gao Shan. This is another higher volatility gambling style game that we've produced here at Ainsworth. So you see our pay table up front here. We have lots of sparkles and stuff going on there. What this is our growing prosperity idea. So we have our table up here, and you're going to see here on the aces, the 3 and the 4 of a kind, those are kind of zeroed out. As we bet through this game, we're going to collect our ingot symbols, and that's going to shoot up to the top here and be applied to one of our prizes on our pay table. So those prizes are actually going to get larger and larger and larger until the player wins one of those, which creates a really cool chase scenario where you'll have 5 kings worth $32, or you may have 4 tens worth $15. That's a huge amount that can be paid on that easily attainable 4 kings. And that continues to grow, and while that one grows, a bunch of other prizes up here are growing as well too. So there's always going to be something to chase on this. I'm going to trigger a couple couple of the upgrades here so you can see those. So here I got my ingots. Those are going to shoot up and be applied to the pay table. So now my 3 of a kind fortune god grew. I got my 4 of a kind pot now worth $24. 5 of a kind tree now worth $30. And those prizes are continuing to grow and grow and grow until I win them on my reel array. And you can win them through multiple line counts too. So if we're able to win our 4 of a kind fortune god for that $27, we're able to double that if we're going to win it through any of our 25 lines on this game. The other cool part about this is we have our free games up at the top here. You see all pays 4x, all pays 3x, and all pays 2x. Those are going to grow as well too as we play through this game. So there's a chance that when we get our ingot, it's going to grow one of these amounts of free games as well as a credit prize on that wheel. The free games then, we're going to go into a quick pick feature where we're going to be awarded one of these or just our standard 8 free games. So here we got our bonus symbols. We're going to roll down the scroll and we're going to be given a choice here about what we're going to play. And so I got my 4x at 25 games. So all my pays now are going to be 4x. And that's these pays here, not the base pays. So here we'll play through and we'll get a nice big win. And my prizes are going to continue to grow as we play through here as well. So here, I got the 4x grown. So here we'll win our 3 of a kind, and you see the increased pay was awarded here on our 3 of a kind jacks. So when we hit spin, you see that goes back down to that starting amount of 25 credits. And we're going to continue to grow the other prizes on the reel array. There's some visual changes here to show that that these are getting towards their max levels. So if a player's walking around and they're shopping a game or they're looking at a couple games next to each other, giving them more information about which ones to sit down and play. Great. This is, again, Zhai Gaoshen, growing prosperity with our growing prosperity pay table and free games. If there's any questions, I'll move on. Thank you. Next one I'm going to talk about is Pac-Man Wheel. So we've continued to develop with Bandai Namco some of their IP titles into slot product. So recently we released a new version of Galaga, a big reel array with cascading reels based on the Galaga ship shooting the enemies and more winds coming down. That's available now. The next product we have coming out in development with Bandai Namco is Pac-Man Wheel. So you see this big, beautiful, bright wheel, very attractable up top, and there's a bunch of different things that can happen on this wheel. So this is a very frequent hitting wheel because we're going to win a bunch of different features through it. So we have our general credit prizes, we have our green ghosts, which I'll explain in a second. Our free games are one in the wheel, golden ghost pick feature. We have our jackpot, which is going to win us one of our 2 standalone progressives and some extra prize and some other quick features. So you see our base reel here on our 3x5, 60 credit cost to cover. We have our green ghost. That's going to be our reveal symbol. Anytime you get big stacks of those green ghosts, they're always going to reveal the same symbol. So here I got the peach symbol. And so you can get some big wins comboing up those green ghosts. Now, what we're looking for the wheel spin is we need a scatter on 1 and 5, and that's going to give us a spin of our wheel up top here. So it's going to happen about 1 in every 25 free spins. So here we got that now. Pac-Man's going to go to the center of the wheel. We're going to give it a spin, and we're hoping one of the 6 features, as well as the credit prizes, are not small credit prizes. They're 50 or 100x your bet. So some big credit prizes can happen here. Here I got the green ghost. So you see it turned all the fruit into that green ghost figure, and now all those ghost figures are going to reveal that same symbol underneath. So some really big wins, real quick feature, applies to that base game. And we'll go through that. Next one I'm going to show you is the free games feature. So similar to the green ghost feature that's going to play into each spin, we're going to have 3 reel arrays up top and a bonus reel above that. So we'll give it a spin and we'll get that feature. So the other features include the golden ghost feature, which you're given a pick where you're going to win a large credit prize based on your bet. We have the fruit bonus, which you'll see any of the fruit on the screen. Pac-Man will come through, he'll eat those fruit, and you're given a credit prize for each one of those. So what happens on that reel array corresponds with what happens on the reel during that bonus. So here I got my 8 free games, and you'll see we'll go into the extended reel array with 3 different arrays. And you'll still see the big stacks of these green ghosts coming across, so some really big combinations can happen on this, especially with the help of our extra reel up at the top. So what I'm really hoping for is this to show up with that green ghost, and then that's going to turn all the fruit on the reel into the green ghost symbol. So you can combine the two with the green ghost that had already showed up. They're all going to reveal the same symbol. We're hoping for that highest paying symbol, of course, and you can get some really big wins out of that. There we go. So now they're all gonna get chased away. And now I got my bananas, so I'll get my line wins through those. One more, give me one more green ghost. Oh, there we go. And I got my apple. Next feature I'm gonna show you is the jackpot feature. This is gonna be how we win one of our 2 progressive levels. So again, on reels 1 and 5, we have our wheel symbol, easy trigger to follow, easy trigger to chase. You're always going to get a wheel spin from that, and again, it's very frequent. So here we'll go into the jackpot game. So in our jackpot game, we're going to be paired up against one of the ghost symbols. So we have Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. You're going to choose which one you're going to go up against here. You're going to race to the pellet. If you make it to the pellet first and then you're able to eat that ghost you're up against, you're going to get one of these 2 prizes. So we're going to go up against Pinky here. If I can get there, now I can eat them, and we're going to be awarded one of these. So now I got the major. So I got my $300 just in that quick feature. And these are standalone progressive levels. So that is it on Pac-Man Wheel. Real excited about this one. Go ahead.
We do have a question. The question is this a purchase game or a lease product?
It is both. We will do lease situations as well as it is for sale product. Great. Thank you. All right, next up, I think we have the last game to show you. I'm going to introduce Terry Daly. Taylor Daly is the designer on this game, as well as he designed the Supercharged Classic game that you first saw at the beginning. So, Terry, take it away.
Thank you, Cody. Hi, this is another one of our classic games, 3 reels, Gambler Machine. It's under a new umbrella that we've created called Take It or Leave It. There will be a variety of games developed under the Take It or Leave It brand. This one here is called Super Hot Sevens. It'll be, again, traditional symbols. In this particular one, we have mixed sevens, mixed bars, multiplier symbols, doublers, triplers, and 5 times. So at the top of the display is our Take It or Leave It wheel, which I'll get back to in a sec. Again, we have 3 traditional wheels, or 3 traditional reels with, we have a 9-line pay version as well as a 5-line pay. You can configure them in a variety of different bet patterns, whatever you'd like to set it up as. Right here we have a progressive meter, and that progressive meter is configurable. You just set it as a fixed 10,000 credits, a standalone progressive, or you can link it throughout your property if you'd like. Okay, let's talk about the Take It or Leave It wheel. The Take It or Leave It wheel, you can see there's 12 wedges with 12 arrows around the wheel. And what will happen is when the player gets 3 Take It or Leave It symbols on any active pay line, they'll be awarded the Take It or Leave It wheel bonus. So when they press spin, the arrows will flash, and then they'll start illuminating. From 1 to 5 arrows will illuminate, and then when the wheel stops, whatever arrow is aligned with that wedge, it'll sum them all up and offer that amount to the player. At that point, they're given the option that they can take that win amount or leave it. If they want to leave it, they can spin again. They have to take the 4th offer. So let's go ahead and demo it for you. There's 3 Take It or Leave It symbols on an active pay line.
Take it or leave it.
So at this point, the player is prompted to spin the wheel for the first offer. The arrows are flashing. We have 3 lit arrows. Oh, 4 or 5 lit arrows. All 5 are lit. Oh, I'm sorry, all 4 are lit. So now the players offered 525 credits. If they want to take it or leave it. If they take it, they'll win that and the feature will be over. We're going to go ahead and leave it. We'll get another spin. Let's see how many arrows we're getting. 1. Oh, only 1 arrow, 100 credits. Okay, we have 2 more offers left. So we're going to go ahead and leave it again, and let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll do better than the first 2 offers. 4 arrows lit, 5 arrows lit, 925. Now at this point, you see here it says hot offer. It's just telling the player that that's a positive offer, it's a recommendation, they should take it. If they don't want to and they want to go for something higher, they can. We'll go ahead and do that. Feeling lucky today. Oh, let's see what happens.
Congratulations!
Hey, all right. So that's take it or leave it, folks. Any questions?
All right. So thank you again for joining us. Feel free to chat it, type in any additional questions. Perhaps you want to see a game again. We're happy to walk through anything a second time. Or if there's a product you may have heard about during other presentations or other things about Ainsworth or rumors out there, we're happy to certainly take you anywhere in the showroom, show you product, answer any questions you have. I did see a couple questions on there. Just to reiterate, the Pac-Man and George Lopez licensed games, they will be available as a lease product or for sale at a premium price. Obviously, those of you who've worked with Ainsworth before, very similar to how we've done other Pac-Man, Galaga style IP product, we're able to offer that both ways, whatever makes sense for you and your business. The second question, I believe, was A-Star versus A640 games. The 3-reel games that you've seen, the Supercharged 7s Classic, Real Hot 7s Classic, we have made available on the A640. The rest of what you've seen here at this point has been A-Star curve only. We're looking at strategically moving those depending on what makes sense. But the short answer is the product you've seen here today is built for the A-Star Curve cabinet. It is our newest cabinet. The games look great on this cabinet. They feel great. We're very proud of it with the 43-inch curved screen. You're getting USB chargers, touchscreen button deck, dynamic lighting packages are available. The sound has vastly improved, so hopefully that answers that question. If there's anything else, by all means, myself, Cody, the developers are happy to discuss it. So we'll give that a couple minutes here. But thank you so much again for joining us. Like everybody, we're mostly working remotely, coming in to do some stuff here in the showroom. We're all our kids' teachers these days, as certainly Cody knows. And it means a lot that you took some time out of your schedule to join us for this. A video of this, as well as some of the PowerPoint slides that you sent around, that you saw as we were demoing games, we can send those around to anyone who's registered for this session as well. If you got forwarded the invite or got it some other way, reach out to your AE and they'll be able to direct you to how to get those assets. So. Have we had any other chats? All right, we will sign off. Thank you again. Much appreciated, and we'll see you around soon.